flames, pretty darn high, almost as high as the warehouse.
Flames and smoke shooting from a northeast side business. Fire crews fighting against strong winds today to put it out.
Yeah, that is what the scene looked like not far from I-35 and Walsham Road today. This fire sparked just before 11:30 this morning. The San Antonio Fire Department says that 4 to 5 18-wheeler trailers caught fire at a business called Apple Moving. Today's winds, you felt them. They helped these flames spread pretty fast, putting a nearby neighborhood at risk.
Hysteria and some panic ensued with the people here, and it was pretty devastating. The homes behind the warehouse, where all this black smoke was potentially traveling to, they were trying to suffocate that to where it didn't spread.
Thankfully, no homes near the company's property were damaged, and this fire was contained.
So a mix of dry air and gusty winds has created an extreme fire danger. Today, Bexar County leaders call this a serious public safety concern. Our John Paul Barajas will join us later on to tell us how officials are planning for the worst.
But first, let's start with our meteorologist Shelby Ebertowski, who is outside in the KSAT garden. Shelby, there's a red flag warning and obviously those cooler temperatures to talk about.
Yeah, guys, so we do have a red flag warning in effect until 7 p.m. today because of those strong winds. I mean, those strong winds were brought in because of that gorgeous cold front yesterday that did bring some cooler temperatures. So we're outside. The wind isn't consistent, so the wind is still going back and forth. Sometimes you get some stronger gusts, sometimes you don't. But here's a look at the forecast headlines of what you can expect. Look at this graphic. So throughout the next few hours, we are still going to have that chance of the high, windy, and that drier conditions for the fire danger. But the good news, the red flag warning does expire at about 7 p.m. today. And really, tomorrow, we're just left with those cool, traditional fall temperatures. You'll be waking up in the 40s. It'll be very pleasant. And even for Halloween, we're still going to have a spooktacular Halloween. But not only are we still going to have those cooler temperatures, but earlier today, portions of Bexar County officials told one of our own that they are heightened and they are watching that chance for the red flag warnings still being in effect for most of us for San Antonio. So I'll send it over to John Paul Barajas to talk about more of what we can expect for that and what officials are saying.
Shelby, thank you. We are off I-37 and Southton Road, and back in March, this brush right here was the fuel in feeding the Calaveras fire, which required 182 homes to be evacuated. And Mark, it was back in March when I last spoke to you where the flames were literally just feet, 5 to 10 steps away from the back of your home. On days like today with all that wind, what goes through your head?
It brings back a lot of bad memories of that fire and the smoke, very scary times. I mean, it got real close, pretty close.
I know you were in fear of losing your home and also your dog who was inside your home at that time. I've seen that you've also mowed a lot more of the brush to push back.
Yes, sir. About 30 feet back. Just better safe than sorry. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I mow this all the time now just to keep it away from my house.
That's the best saying there, better
Yes,
safe than sorry.
Yes,
all of that, good reason that this is a reminder that fire safety is of the utmost importance on critical fire danger days. Flames soared in rage between communities in southeast Bexar County back in March in what was a high fire danger day. The fire feeding off the brush and pulled in all directions by the strong winds. There was multiple times where it looked like things started to calm down, but then a wind gust would pick up.
It just came right back. Yeah, it looked like hell. It looked like hell out here, you know?
What was left in the coming days was a charred path of destruction for as far as the eye could see. Today, more than 7 months later, we're in critical fire danger, and Bexar County emergency management officials are asking everyone to be mindful of fire safety.
It's very important to do no outside burning, to make sure that you pay attention to sparks of any kind, parking on dry grass with a vehicle.
In preparation for the fire threat, Bexar County officials have brought in additional crews and have stationed specialized strike teams on the east and west sides of the county. As someone who has to put their life on the line in these type of situations, is there anything you say to the public to try and keep themselves, but also you and your team safe?
Just pay attention to what you're doing. If you're in a burn, obviously we're in a big burn ban right now, so don't do it. It's not worth it.
As he just mentioned, we are and were in a burn ban, and just yesterday, county officials extended that burn ban at least another 90 days. It's also important to note that if you violate a burn ban, that is a misdemeanor, but they want to add that it's important to note that if that fire spreads and causes any type of damage, that charge could be upgraded to a felony, which would be called reckless arson. In Southeast Bexar County, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
John Paul, thank you. Got to be careful out there on days like this. Let's take a look at traffic right now. I-35 north at Loop 410 here, not far from the Windcrest area. This is area typically slows down, and it's looking like I-35 north is behaving like I-35 north during the 5 o'clock commute.
All right. Well, even if you don't receive them, you could still be impacted by the suspension of SNAP benefits. The government is cutting those dollars off this coming Saturday because of the government shutdown.
So our Pashada Pope spoke to a local economics expert, and she's joining us now here in the studio. Pashada, how could this have a ripple effect on really the entire Texas economy?
Well, the department chair of economics at Trinity University explained that just like the 3.5 million Texans that receive SNAP benefits are weighing their spending priorities, Texas business owners are doing the same thing to save jobs and their bottom line.
SNAP benefits are being placed on pause beginning Saturday due to the stalemate by lawmakers that's forced the government to shut down. Without their monthly SNAP benefits, recipients are weighing buying food versus buying other necessities.
As this spending of over $600 million is cut, that's going to affect businesses across the state.
According to reports, SNAP benefits make up around $614 million, and that's infused into the Texas economy every month through buying approved items. And David McPherson, department chair of economics at Trinity University, says as Texas consumers cut back on their spending, business owners will do the same.
Businesses are going to order less.
He says that means there could be less inventory in stores across industries, and business owners will be more strategic with their current inventory. And speaking of other industries, aside from the grocery stores, McPherson says spending on non-essential items such as clothes, entertainment, and dining out could see a noticeable drop. He adds, if the pause and government shutdown as a whole persists, employers may be forced to consider something else more drastic down the line.
And as a result, potentially even have layoffs of workers, depending how long it lasts. It's going to harm the overall economy in Texas as this spending.
McPherson says these are just a few of the domino effects of the pause in SNAP benefits. He stressed if it lasts an extended period, the damage to the Texas economy could have a lingering negative impact. Pashada Pope, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Pashada, thank you. If you or someone you know has been impacted by the government shutdown, scan the QR code you see here on your screen. A lot of companies and workplaces, school districts as well, are stepping up to help cover the financial gap during the shutdown. We have a list of those resources available on KSAT.com.
The defense questioned the lead detective on missing information from the arrest affidavit in the trial of 3 former San Antonio police officers charged in the 2023 killing of Melissa Perez. The trial has now wrapped up its 13th day. During testimony this morning, the defense played a recorded interview Detective Ronald Soto did with Perez's family after she was killed. During the interview, the family told Soto that Perez had been dealing with schizophrenia. The defense asked Soto if he included any of that information in the arrest affidavit for Eleazar Alejandro, Alfred Flores, and Nathaniel Villalobos.
You answered all these questions about this video, about what the family was saying about Melissa Perez's mental status. And you would also agree that you didn't include any of that information in the affidavit for arrest.
No, I did not.
During Detective Soto's testimony, he also told the jury that he did not review all of the body camera video from the night Perez was killed before submitting the arrest affidavit.
We are live streaming this trial, and testimony is expected to continue tomorrow morning at 10:30, and you can watch all of it on our streaming platforms.
All right, 2 days and just under 2 hours left of early voting. As of yesterday, more than 88,000 people in Bexar County had cast their ballots. And then yesterday alone, a little over 12,000 people voted in person. So funding for a new Spurs arena and the Frost Bank Center, they are the huge draw in this election. But voters in Northeast ISD also have some decisions to make. NEISD is asking for $495 million in funding to fix up a long list of schools. The money would address things like aging infrastructure, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and safety and security enhancements, as well as some technology upgrades. The district says the proposed bond package was created after a review of district facilities, enrollment trends, and instructional needs.
This really was a 4-year process, and that a facility steering committee made up of parents, community members, and staff are really the ones who decided what should go into this bond.
So something important to note here, state law requires that all school bond propositions on the ballot include the wording that says this is a tax increase. However, the district said it anticipates no increase to the current tax rate due to what the district says is, quote, sound financial planning and debt restructuring. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll take a look at the schools in the district needing the most work if this bond passes. And tonight, polls close at 7 o'clock. The last day to vote early is Friday, Halloween, October 31st, and then Election Day is next Tuesday, November 4th. One of the nation's largest Day of the Dead festivals took place this past weekend right here in San Antonio. And this year, Muertos Fest drew a crowd despite construction and some weather concerns. Visitors showed up honoring and showing their respect to their loved ones. The celebration honors traditional art, music, and had more than 80 altars. We will air a special rebroadcast of the event tonight at 8 o'clock, hosted by my partner here, Ernie Zuniga.
Thank you.
And Sarah Acosta. It will be filled with stories behind the altars, the musical performances, a procession, and a whole lot more. We hope you'll join us for that tonight.
It was a fantastic weekend, to be sure, and the weather did cooperate. Speaking of the weather, not too bad outside, but what a difference a day makes.
Oh my gosh, this is what we've been waiting on. Shelby Ebertowski will have the forecast and let us know if these fall temperatures are sticking around coming up.
The schools and the church that we all attended there, they are completely demolished and destroyed. Nothing at all is standing.
Hurricane Melissa, now one of the strongest Atlantic storms ever recorded. Thousands are impacted, including the family of a San Antonio Jamaican restaurant. Coming up, we'll show you how they're finding ways to help from here at home.
The impact of Hurricane Melissa being felt right here in San Antonio. This Category 5 storm is one of the most powerful ever recorded, and it made landfall Tuesday in Jamaica.
And so Madeline Lambert spoke to a family that runs a local Jamaican restaurant, and they're trying to help their loved ones from here at home.
I'm lost. There's nothing that I can think of more than what our folks are going through.
Born and raised in Jamaica, Jody Ann is devastated as Hurricane Melissa makes its way through the Caribbean.
I feel helpless. I still have hope, but I don't know.
Jody Ann says she hasn't heard from her parents and grandmother who live in Jamaica since Tuesday morning, the day the storm made landfall.
The last time I spoke to them was about 10 a.m. yesterday morning. They did advise me that they were locked inside their bathroom. And, I was begging and pleading to them to stay safe.
Hurricane Melissa made landfall as a Category 5 storm and sustained winds up to 185 miles per hour. It's tied for the strongest Atlantic hurricane that made landfall.
The schools and the church that we all attended there, they are completely demolished and destroyed. Nothing at all is standing.
Jody Ann's family and Tashana Taylor Brown collaborated to create a nonprofit called the Jamaican Renaissance Initiative. They are accepting donations to send directly overseas to help with recovery efforts.
Any kind of supplies would help, preferably non-perishable items, because one, we don't know when the power will return. So it's better for them if we can get items that will last.
Jody Ann's restaurant on San Pedro Avenue, called Real Jamaica, will be the drop-off center for donations.
Diapers, medications, even if it's just a Band-Aid, clothes, food, whatever it is, cash, whatever it is, we are willing and open to accept, because our people back home is going to need everybody on board.
Madeline Lambert, KSAT 12 News.
Gosh, we hope Jody Ann hears from her family very soon, Shelby.
Yes, we do. And that Hurricane Melissa is such a big, powerful storm, but there's a lot going on in the weather world. I mean, we are still in hurricane season, but for us in San Antonio, we have that possibility of that near critical fire weather. Take a look at the current wind gusts. We're seeing about 30-mile-an-hour winds in San Antonio. Across into Gonzales, you're seeing up to 40-mile-an-hour winds. Now, the strongest wind that was reported earlier today was just east of Hondo at about 45 miles per hour. But with the strong winds, the low relative humidity, and just the fact that we're also still sitting a few degrees cooler and we're still in that drought, all of these little factors and ingredients help fuel any fires that do develop, and they could spread very rapidly. Now, we are under a red flag warning until about 7 p.m. So we just have about under 2 hours to go, but that doesn't mean that once 7 p.m. after 7 p.m., that doesn't mean we're not still cautious. We're still cautious. We're still in that drought. So you still need to be advised that there are counties where there's no burning. You don't need to dispose of the cigarettes, and you need to do that properly if you do. Now, the good news is the winds are going to decrease starting tonight into tomorrow morning. At about the next few hours, we're going to start to see those winds, the gusts specifically, go from 30 to 15 to even 10 miles an hour tonight into tomorrow. But the reason we saw those winds were because of that cool front that came through, and that cold front really brought that northerly breeze that really brought that cool Canadian air. This morning in San Antonio, we got to about 53 degrees. Our peak temperature only sitting in the 60s, 68 degrees. That's 10 degrees below our average, and even not quite yet to our record, but if you left the cooler temperatures, don't worry, you have more chances. Tomorrow morning, not only are we going to sit in about 40 to 41 degrees in San Antonio, as you go to the hill country, we're expecting a few folks to be sitting in the 70s, just even past Kerrville Comfort. Some folks up near San Saba and Junction have a freeze warning issued because the temperature, just like Comfort, is expected to get right to freezing. Now, we're not expecting San Antonio, and we're not expecting to see a widespread freeze tomorrow, but what we are expecting is, yes, temperature still sitting at about 41 in the morning. Expect your afternoon to be similar to what we saw today, maybe even a few degrees warmer, getting to the mid to low 70s for us. But traditionally, when we see our first freezes, where you see those colors in the pink, that's right around this time of year. I mean, Halloween is just a few short days away. So we are statistically on point with our first average freeze for San Antonio. Statistically speaking, that means about November 30th. So we do still have a ways away. But these cooler temperatures are expected to continue just throughout the next few days. So if you are getting closer to the hill country near Junction, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, just keep in mind that it is still going to be a little on the cooler side, and keep all those tips, tricks in mind, the waters, the peps, the plants, to keep that in mind over the next few days. Now, look ahead to the forecast. We are tracking a small chance of rain on Saturday. That is only a 20% chance, but rain is rain nonetheless. But the good news is the temperatures are at least sticking around to see more like fall in the mornings and in the afternoons over the next 7 days, guys.
This is paying off. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Well, cool or cold would not be words used to describe the Spurs right now, Larry.
No, the Spurs are red hot, and Devin Vassell is red hot right out of the gate. This is the type of play that the San Antonio Spurs need from their 7th-year guard. Man, if he plays like that all season, woo, watch out. And the World Series is now a best-of-3 between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays coming up. Spurs are 4-0 and guard Devin Vassell is just one of the reasons why. In 4 games this season, Dev is averaging 16.8 points in 34 minutes per game. He's also averaging 1.5 steals per contest, tied for first with Wemby. Vassell is healthy and shooting nearly 46% from the floor and 43% from three-point range. He's playing how the Spurs need him to play, and Julian Champagnie is happy for his teammate.
a good approach. He's been playing really well, and no matter how the game is going, he's doing all the right things. He's playing defense. He's locked in, even when he makes mistakes. It's no head down. It's no sulking. It's no nothing. It's like a good proactive approach to it. So I'm super proud of him. I know everybody's super proud of him. He's been playing really well. So hopefully that continues, and it will continue. I know him. So yeah.
The Spurs will host a 3-1 Miami Heat tomorrow night at 7:30 at the Frost Bank Center. Now, the Heat come to San Antonio as winners of 3 straight after beating the Hornets Tuesday night, 144-117. Miami won the game despite their leading scorer, Norman Powell, sitting out with right groin soreness. Now, the 144 total points matches the 4th most the Heat have scored in franchise history, and their new up-tempo offense is averaging a league-best 131.5 points per game this season. The Spurs are giving up a league-low 104.5 points per contest. The World Series is all tied at 2-2 after the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers in Game 4 last night 6-2. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a 2-run homer off Shohei Ohtani in the top of the 3rd inning, giving Toronto the lead for good 2-1.
I get that it's easy to write Ohtani versus Guerrero. To us, it's Toronto versus Los Angeles, but that swing was huge. You know what I mean? That a sweeper is a pitch designed to generate pop-ups, in my opinion, and the swing that Vlad put on it was elite.
We knew it was going to be a great series. This team is talented. They're resilient. Talking about the Blue Jays, and they came back fighting.
Game 5 is tonight at 7 o'clock in Los Angeles, and then the series shifts back to Toronto for Game 6 and possibly a Game 7.
All right, we'll see, Larry.
Okay, we'll be right back. Here is a look at what is coming up tonight on ABC Primetime. Shifting gears at 7 o'clock, Abbott Elementary at 7:30, and don't miss the KSAT 12 special 2025 Dia de los Muertos, and that's, of course, Muertos Fest. followed by the night beat at 10.
And if you're going out and about this afternoon into the evening hours, expect it still to be a little chilly. Those winds will die down, but getting to the 50s already by the time the sun sets. And really, once the sun sets, that's when we really start to see the temperatures significantly drop. 41 degrees tomorrow morning as you're waking up. Some folks in the hill country and out towards Junction can be near freezing. So we'll keep you posted and maybe have a light flannel out for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, take that jacket out for a spin. Thank you.
Dust it off first, probably, yes. And then we get an hour back on Saturday night / Sunday morning. Okay, thanks so much for watching the news at 5.